Well, this story is absolutely insane. It surrounds Artesian Builds, who are a PC builder, and, well, they have massively messed up everything, and now the employees are revolting against the CEO, it seems. And also, maybe there's a little bit of a runaway with the money. The whole thing is just a big, horrible mess. Here's what they would do, right? They had this ambassador program where they'd be giving away PCs. And this was all done via the live stream ran by the CEO, who certainly seemed to want to push the company Twitch.
Yep,
You don't do all of that. So what happens when you've done this giveaway? You've done the draw. You've got all these different streamers on the different levels of your partnership, and you see that, oh shit, we've drawn a small streamer.
Oh no, not one of those.
Maybe we won't get a massive amount of promotion from. I'll change the rules.
On the fly.
And
live.
and live on air.
Genius.
Well, suffice to say, this absolutely did not go well. This backlash was immediate, it was intense, it was well deserved, and the way that the CEO talked through the different tiers of streamers, it was as if the guy running, I'm not saying it was a pyramid scheme, but it was as if the guy running the pyramid scheme was just being mask off to somebody and it was a hot mic situation. That is what he actually sounded like when talking to the public.
That's the best part. It just sounded like that's not something you would ever want anyone to hear, unless, I guess, you don't care about what people think, in which case that's not how to run your PR.
Yeah, so even though the only list of criteria is being an ambassador, he would go over the sizes of ambassadors' followings and just be like, no, you're not valid.
Yeah, it's just, it's only 5,000 followers. Only one follower a day. How often would they stream? I'd only stream, once every other week. You're like, I mean, if you're looking for the metric for pure Twitch success, yes, but this is a giveaway for partners that you're working with. That's a bit inhuman.
It's pretty simple. I can understand wanting to get ROI from a giveaway because a giveaway is marketing, but set up your rules. Yeah. What a moron. So anyway, during this, he comes off like such a prick, being he seems so smug about the whole thing and belittling.
Yeah,
belittling people.
I think it was one peg in the description of a YouTube video called him wish.com Starlord, and that broke me.
That's brilliant. And so the apologies are since deleted, but here they are. Hey, Twitter Sphere, I'm really sorry for the way we did parts of the giveaway today. We've given a lot of people a lot of awesome free tech, and that's not going to stop. If you want to talk, I'm here. That's kind of the point of being live so much.
I stream so much. I'm a streamer, I swear.
The easy way is not... the easy way is not to be there for you, but I've been there for years. I haven't done much of anything else. I love interacting with you all, and I feel terrible that anyone didn't enjoy that process today. Please feel free to share ideas on how to improve.
Yeah.
That ain't it.
Nope.
Yep. So, the person in question, Kia, was retroactively offered a PC, but of course they refused because, I think at this stage, it's I even want your PC. Go away.
Yep. I think it was it was Jay's 2 cents. I think immediately built the PC for and fired her.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think a couple others offered.
Now, turns out this is more the straw that broke the camel's back.
Yep.
And hey, even OTK, sort of in and around our sphere, even they get to pop up in this story. Yep. So this whole debacle, spread. Now, lots of high-profile creators who are partners of this group. Nick Merckx, OTK, so that's Asmongold, Mizkif, Alinity. They're all breaking away. Now, to show how, warped their perspective is, well, the Artesian Build team apparently had rather high expectations of partners, asking for a bunch of stuff for $300 a month. That's what Alinity said. Now, I actually Was it Razer? I forget who it was. And like, it's funny enough because I used the very mouse in question, but it was like one of their departments was basically like, yeah, we'll give you like $200 and like, 1 or 2% of sales for something. I'm like, excuse me, what? And it was totally just person had no idea what the norm was. But this is a case where like, they totally know what the norm is. Yeah. $300 a month. I mean, for what, like Alinity, I don't even, okay, put it this way. This would be like stupidly low, stupidly offensively low for us.
Yeah.
For Alinity, who would be so, infinitely larger.
Yeah.
That is absurd.
Yeah, I mean, I think...
Just absurd.
I can't remember whether she said followers or viewers, but she said, for a little more context, that whenever she had... It was either 500 followers or 500 viewers. I think definitely viewers, because 500 followers is very, very low. Had like 500 viewers average. That's when she was getting paid $300 a month from a different partner. And I haven't looked at her stats, but I'm pretty sure it's a little bit higher than... add a couple zeros to that, I think.
Yeah, just a smidge.
Yeah.
So OTK then parted ways. Zach apologized for not, doing it more promptly, but there you go. So OTK have pulled out. Mizkif went in decently hard, just saying, I will fully let you know my PC was just garbage. I cannot believe that PC was sent to me the way it was. It was an absolute shit PC. It was clearly obvious it was a garbage shit PC. Nothing was right with it. I wish I could have said this forever ago. I absolutely hated it, and I don't understand how Artesian made that PC and thought it was okay to ship to me, but I couldn't say anything due to legality issues. Holy shit. Noah publicly shamed Kia and made her feel like shit. I don't understand how he can say this, say this to this Twitch streamer. How could he think that was a good idea to say on stream? And pretty much just, going on along those lines. So, given everything that's happened and having watched the original, it's pretty satisfying to hear.
Yep. No, it is. I mean, that's what you pay for when you do marketing wrong, when you make these PR mistakes. You end up making powerful enemies that were your allies just because especially when you're like going against streamers in general. It's like it's such poor form to try to punch like down on lower people in the same kind of like, I guess, group or class of people, because obviously, of course, Twitch streamers go, small Twitch streamer got hard done by. Not on our fucking watch.
Yeah.
That's what you expect to happen, like.
So, cut and run. Just run away with the beans. Yeah. All right. So,
seemingly.
It does appear that this has led to a lot more scrutiny, with some speculation that actually the tax man is a bit involved in this. So the license to trade in California has been forfeited due to tax evasion and unpaid fees. And this was first spotted by One Peg on YouTube. So that's a bit rough.
Yep, license pulled.
Yep, license pulled. We then have employees rolling against the CEO. We will be sure not to. I will, however, just mention that the views of the CEO do not match the views of anyone else that works for the company. And I know because I was watching Gamers Nexus's coverage of this, just like loads of people. I mean, just basically this being extremely obvious that this is the case from what Steve had heard.
Yeah, and I believe for a bit of flavor, I believe this was like not that long before employees had their access to the Twitter account revoked and the password changed.
What a surprise.
Yep.
Now, this has made the fallout mention of an employee-led buyout seeming plausible. At this point, we are examining a potential employee-led buyout of the company. Thanks for your support. Though 4 days later, on Thursday, they announced that they would be suspending operations completely, and ongoing is analysis by outside counsel for reorganization to ensure fair treatment of clients, creditors, and employees.
Yep.
More news by month's end. And of course, as with a few recent, gaming dramas, it's been time for Steve to put on the journalism hat and get involved. So, Gamers Nexus posted a video outlining this story. Everyone was fired on Wednesday. So I guess so much for the employee-led.
Yeah, that didn't go because they're all gone now.
Gamers Nexus then reached out to do an unedited, just a raw interview with Noah, which is exactly what they did. with Newegg. Certainly an interesting one to watch. I think just because it was such an inherently awkward position for all of the Newegg people. Yeah. Many of whom were like, I think one or two of them was like, they were decently new, so the whole thing just really, awkward for them. But it was good.
Yeah, if the truth's awkward, then so be it.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Now, of course, Noah is claiming to, like Steve and like his work, which obviously is, whether true or not, in the context of the situation, that's emotional manipulation, and that's not going to look good on him. Now, where this really starts to make so much more sense, because you look at all this behavior from Noah, and you basically just think, how could somebody with their head screwed on actually manage a company? Because one of the things that Gamers Nexus and so many of us have also found out is that this company it was way larger than people thought. Way more employees. Yeah. Well, it turns out that the old COO, that's Chief Operations Officer, basically had been running the show, primarily in the East Coast location, and that's where most of the actual making of money was going on, right? Just for regular orders, just actually fulfilling everything. But the CEO was running things in the San Francisco location, and that was a lot more marketing focused.
Yeah, it was basically the East Coast was, where they're building for customers, primarily speaking. Then the West Coast, the San Fran one this is mostly doing builds on stream for streamers and partners and stuff like that. The kind of, hey, we're going to make this cool and marketable, whereas the grunt work happens somewhere else. And that's what the CEO was in charge of.
Yeah. So, unsurprisingly, when the CEO leaves the company and the CEO takes over that person's responsibilities, the thing just starts to unravel. Now, this is interesting. Everything the CEO was saying internally and to Steve was tone deaf, and here's a great example. So this is just a mail. Steve, there is significant misinformation out there right now. Around 99% of what is being posted is simply not true. I rented a cool car on Turo once. Turo is just like a car rental service. I think the private people can rent their own cars on that's in the US.
Because one of the things people were saying was he was it a BMW i8, I think, which is 150 grand. People saw him in a photo with one of those and assumed he had ran away with the money and bought it. Apparently that's not true, but...
Yeah. People have dug and dug for anything that could possibly be used to damage me and the brand. The unsubstantiated hate and death threats have been crushing to read and materially damaging to the brand. I know it's not from Twain, but the quote, "A lie can travel halfway around the world while the truth is still putting on its shoes," is very true online. And I mean, in fairness, there is a fair degree of truth to that statement in the generic sense online.
I mean, that's the thing, it might be true, but, Noah was saying this unprompted to Steve in the middle of organizing this interview that they were going to have, after saying, hey, you don't need to bring any equipment. We've got studio lights here. We can set them up for you. What's your favorite food? We can take you out for lunch, or maybe I can make sushi. And you're like, well, Steve's entire approach was, we're trying to be professional, not your friend. What are you doing? This is so deeply inappropriate for the situation.
Yeah, and just going through like the community sentiment from video comments and stuff. TLDR, brutal.
Yeah.
Now, Steve and Co are actually trying to help out. So, Gamer Nexus tweet, I've been replying to emails from former Artesian Builds staff for the past few hours and trying to put people in contact with potential new employers in the industry. Good shit.
Damn right.
It is insane how many people were affected by this. For context, Newegg, with a few thousand employees, only saw us hearing from a handful of staff during the whole Newegg drama. With Artesian, estimated around 40 to 50 recently, it feels like we've already heard from most of the former recent staff. It's sad to see how mismanagement of this team of talented people was, just how mismanaged they were by the former CEO. Important if you are one of our PC hardware contacts, PR people, tech marketing, PM, etc. You should know how to get in touch with us and are free to email requesting to be put in contact with former talent. So basically trying to hook people up.
Yep, and he said he's had decent success with that so far. Just lots of people have been like, oh, yep, we're hiring for people who can do cool stuff. Absolutely, one ahead. I think that's such a great story in terms of how it's actually come out in the end. But,
it's nice to get a happy ending, but holy shit.
Yeah, I think people just...
Talk about having a key man problem.
Yeah, boils down to, I think the CEO was... I'd like to know the history of how they started with the CEO and stuff, because it seemed like the CEO wasn't super interested in, or rather had other goals than running the company really well and satisfying all the customers and partners and stuff. I think it was a little bit more of a... I can't get over the Wish.com Star-Lord, because that's just kind of everything.
That's so funny.
Yeah, that kind of sums it all up perfectly for that seeming type of personality type who unfortunately, all of this happened, and I think it was Steve kind of was clearly angry in the Gamers Nexus video, but like, this dude's responsible for like 40 to 50 people, and they're all laid off because of his extremely dumb mistake. Like, how do you not show remorse for that publicly and openly and immediately? Why has that not been any part of any of your discussion or topic with anyone? Why have you lost like 50 employees their jobs? Went, whoops. It's just, man, brutal. But at least they'll hopefully get one.
Yeah, I think, look, if you have, I mean, it's not a absurd read to say that this is a narcissism situation.
Yeah, for sure.
That, because, you know, in those situations, and, you know, often that can just be what it's like with some of the CEO and founder types. But the other people there are not like, I mean, they know they're people, but they're more like, you know, tools.
Yeah.
They're more like, okay, here's all these people in the little money-making machine over there on the other coast.
Yeah.
Here's the vanity project. You know, the vanity project side of the company where I got to do what I want. And, you know, I'm going to be on Twitch and all of that stuff. It just seems like the complete, you know, man's head is disconnected from base reality. Therefore, whenever base reality comes knocking, he's completely not equipped to deal with it because he's just living in this warped land.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Indeed.
I think that's mostly it.
Yeah.
There's not much drama here because it's just like dickhead CEO, nosedive company, sucks for employees. Like, that's the story.
Yeah, I think it's to me, I think the takeaway is kind of twofold. One, which is if you have an order with Artesian Builds, cancel it and hope you get your refund back, because they didn't tell customers of this whatsoever. It just happened. I don't think they have told customers. I think it's just scum bust. Whoopsies. Sorry about that.
Hopefully people purchased with a credit card so that they can have the buying protection.
Hopefully. Yeah.
That's a decent chance. People are going to be screwed.
Yeah, I think the other takeaway is that kind of what I was saying earlier, but like Twitch streamers kind of banding together to protect themselves. Like, no, you've just shit on one of us. Get out. We don't want you here. And then obviously all those employees that did nothing wrong and probably were doing a great job. And then, you know, other people in the industry are like, oh, yep, we will absolutely find a way to, you know, make room in the budget to hire you because, you know, we know Artesian did largely good work. So, you know, there's no reason not to.
Plus, I mean, as well in the current jobs climate, actually, like, hiring is, for a lot of companies, I've heard tales of this in America. Like, it's kind of hard to hire. I think the unemployment rate has, like, been going way down. I mean, that said, who knows how, you know, real any of these your reported numbers are. But at least I continually do hear stuff to that effect. So it's like, oh, what's that? An injection of like 50 people into the jobs market who have all got skills that we might want. I mean, it's a bit like how, like, if you're just to imagine, you know, suddenly Activision Blizzard just, okay, it's a bit tricky, but like if Activision Blizzard just went completely bust, the other companies would be like,
oh yes,
developers, hum, nom, nom, nom.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, that's the reason why Bungie, like, left, because they were sucking up support studios like High Moon, and Activision didn't want that. So, like, it's...
Yeah, talent
is the thing that's in short supply.
Yeah, talent is limited, so that can hamper your growth, because talent is one of the things that takes time to foster, which is obviously why I think the game industry treating employees the way it is a long-term complete death knell, but anyway.
Yeah, so, look, there you go. Fun little story. It's, I think, increasingly nice to see the role that Steve and the rest of the team over at Gamers Nexus are actually
100%
playing in the industry, right? It's like, okay, you've done something wrong. Now Steve is going to daddy up in you. You're gonna have some justice happen. So look, there we go. That's it from us. I guess let us know if you got a build from these guys and how it went. And I guess we'll see you next time.